Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. That means it's only 2 days till Sunday. Sunday school starts at 9:45. We'll have the coffee, the juice, the donuts. They're ready and waiting when you get there. Church starts at 10:45, and this is also Potluck Sunday, fellowship dinner. So we would love to have you come to service and stay for dinner afterwards and fellowship and get to know some people better. Today is our last day of Vacation Bible School. We had another wonderful time last night. I gotta tell you, my coffee is getting stronger as the week goes on because it is awesome, but man, it is exhausting too. And I am so grateful for everyone who has been there helping as they could. Our devotional this morning starts with a scripture from the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. What he says, he will do. He does what he promises. He makes come true. The title today is Take God at His Word. And it reads, we have to learn to take God at His Word. Sounds easy enough, especially when it's smooth sailing. But in the midst of a storm, even the disciples of Jesus needed a reminder. On one occasion, he told them, let's go over to the other side. They did. En route to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, however, their boat encountered a furious squall. The sky opened, and buckets of water fell, and waves threatened to upend the boat. The disciples turned to Jesus and found him sound asleep. They screamed, don't you care if we drown? Jesus woke up, stood up, commanded the storm to shut up, and then said to his disciples, do you still have no faith? What a stunning rebuke. The sea was raging. The water was churning. Why did Jesus scold them? Simple. They didn't take him at his word. He had said they were going to the other side. He didn't say we're going to the middle of the lake to drown. Jesus had declared the outcome. But when the storm came, the disciples heard the roar of the winds and forgot his word. Storms are coming your way. Winds will howl. Your boat will be tossed, and you will have a choice. Will you hear Christ or the crisis? Heed the promises of Scripture or the noise of the storm. Will you take God at his word? Now, I got to tell you, our theme for Vacation Bible School this year is Under the Sea. And so this is actually one of the stories that we did this week, teaching the children, was about how Jesus calmed the storm. And I split the kids up, and I had one side that was being the sea, and they were waving back and forth and, up and down the churning waters. And the other side were the disciples, and they were going, oh me, oh my, we're all gonna die. And we learned, hopefully it'll stick, what happened when Jesus stood up in the middle and said to the sea to be still, be calm, be still. And the lesson that we all take from that is that God has already given us promises. He has already determined what the outcome is going to be in our situation, our circumstance, our life. He's already determined how he is going to take care of us. Now, does that mean that we will never encounter a storm? Absolutely not. I just told you, storms are coming your way. The winds will howl, your boat will be tossed, and you will have a choice. So see, now it comes down to you. See, are you going to listen to the voice of Jesus, the promises that have been made to you? The Bible is full of promises that God has made to all of us. He will never leave us. He will never forsake us. That what Satan intends for harm, that he will turn around and use for his glory. There are all kinds of promises there for us. Does that mean that it's not going to get bumpy and rocky and wavy and a little bit scary along the way at times? No. Those things are going to happen. Those challenges are going to come. Those temptations are going to hit you every day. Those different situations and circumstances are going to be pounding at your door. But the question is, how do you react to it? How do you react to those storms in your life? Do you say, Lord, I know there's nothing I can do about this. This is completely out of my hands. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit scared. I'm anxious about this one, but I'm going to trust in you. I'm going to trust in your word. I know that your word says that you do what you say. Numbers 23:19. What he says he will do, he does. What he promises, he will make come true. See, that's what we have to grab a hold of. You know, we have to remember those times that we were in a pit, that we were in a pit of anxiety and worry and despair, and we were doing the, oh me, oh my, we're all going to die, and how God came through. We've got to remember how God has kept the promises to us in the past, and then believe in faith that he is going to do the same today. He may do it in a different way. He may do it when we don't feel like it's the time he should have done it. You know, we're right up against the wire. We're at that threshold. We're at the point where we think it's do or die. But God is in control. And if God has made the promises, God will see that they come true. May not be the way we think they will. May not be when we think they will. But God is always just in time. Oftentimes I have found in my life that it's to the point to where I finally throw up my hands. I finally quit pushing and doing all the things I'm trying to do to make something turn around, to make something change, when God says, well, finally you're going to give me a chance to act here. If we would just learn, if I would just learn, to give it to him from the word jump, from the word go, I would allow him to work much, much faster and probably much, much smoother than with all of my interference in trying to take care of something on my own that I need to be leaving up to him. He is the author and the perfecter of our faith. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. There is nothing here that he did not create. There is nothing here that he does not control. Now, I realize that the devil is the ruler of this world, this earth, this world, this time right now. However, even Satan cannot do something without God allowing it to happen. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's a testing. Sometimes it's a pruning. Sometimes it's a sharpening of our sword. Sometimes it's a pruning of our flesh. Sometimes it hurts. But in all of those things, if we are trusting in God, he will come through. Our faith will increase. Our doubt will lessen. And hopefully our self-reliance will become a little bit less, and our reliance on him will become a little bit more. In everything that happens to us, I believe that there is a lesson to be learned. Sometimes the lesson is that we need to let go and let God take care of it. It's out of our control anyway. If the doctor told me today that I have an incurable disease, there is nothing I can do about that. Nothing. It wouldn't matter if I changed my diet, if I changed my exercise, if I changed my location of where I live. None of those things would matter if I have an incurable disease. But God. See, it's that always, but God. But God is the great physician, the great healer, the great provider. He can change everything in an instant. God would not have given us doctors if he didn't intend for us to allow them to use their wisdom and their knowledge that they have learned over the years to care for us. God wouldn't have given us bankers if he didn't want us to be good stewards of our money and put our money in a bank. I'm not sleeping on my money in the mattress, so forget that. It's what little I have is in the bank. They're a lot less likely to lose it or squander it than I am, let's face it. God gives us people in our lives to come alongside us to help us to accomplish what he intends for us to accomplish. But the ultimate answer to all things is that we take God at his word. By our faith, we believe. By our faith, we are healed. By our faith, all things are made new. Let God handle what God intends to handle. Quit trying to yank things out of his hands like I often do. I pray you all have a wonderfully blessed day. Pray for our kids in VBS. Pray for all the leaders and the teams and the helpers and all of those that are making all these things happen. It has been a wonderful week, and I'm expecting it to be a wonderful last night of VBS. Good morning, Jeannie. I hope you're having a great day today. If there's anything I can do for anybody, please reach out and let me know. I love you all dearly. I hope I get to see you on Sunday. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.